saying that, okay, Mohbad was hit in the head, or he was slashed his throat was slashed, and all of those things. What this story that we're hearing will still have been the story, because this is what everybody is corroborating. And that is why I align with what Thunderfire said earlier, that if the results comes out from the inquest, we would have no choice but to accept it, because there is no alternative truth. There is not one single evidence to even challenge whatever they come out with, to challenge what we are hearing at the moment. So that money bit is just, if we take away that money, we still have got the same story. It was injected, blah, 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 because even Baba and the lawyers, and even Guregzi said he's been there maybe 3 times to see the body. There was no other injury other than the small cut he had on his hand. So this story would have still been the same story. Now going to the money, I think Baba initially just accepted fate, and like, because of what his head, that way he was injected. That a lot of blood story, I don't believe it, because you wouldn't see that pool of blood and then be calm and accept, even against when people are saying, oh, Baba, don't bury it, don't bury it. He himself confirmed it. That Zlatan was saying to him that, Baba, don't go and bury this boy, let them do autopsy. Said Wunmi knelt down and said they should go and do their traditional rites or whatever. You wouldn't have seen that huge blood, or seen like gashes in his head or things to show that, oh, this guy was killed violently, and then be quiet. So when he was doing all of those, people then came in to say, you know, with Nigerians and everywhere, when things happen, people start taking sides. They then decided that, oh, this is the man who lost his son, we have to give him support. And then the support they decided to give was to throw money into this matter. And Baba, being who he is, I don't think he's been able to manage that sort of money, and he doesn't have the self-discipline to say, oh, I'm not interested in this is what I want, this money thing, let's do it with it for now. Because with the Timothy case, they threw money at them, but the wife and the family said, no, we are not interested in this, in money, we want justice for our son. And Oriyomi handled that very well, because they even raised, I think, 70 million for lawyer, which this man, Falana, then said no, he was going to do it for free. So Baba didn't have the self-discipline to restrict the money that was flowing in. And as the money kept flowing in, people started surrounding him, wanting to be, oh, I'm one of those that is bringing this money in. I have to be like a key person close to Baba. And this is where all the Wahala now started. They now started fighting themselves. This one wants to be close. Oh, this one went to bail suspects, to show that, oh, our loyalty to this man, what they want. Everybody just took their eye off the main issue, which was Mohbad, and they started concentrating on being one of Baba's favorites. And this is where everything started turning upside down. Imagine when Bukky Jesse came out the first time, because she was one directing Baba initially, go to this mountain, go to this place, go and see this place. And then she came out and said, oh, they put Baba in hotel. Baba is grumbling that they put him in 2,000 naira hotel, 5,000 naira hotel. She started all of those things that she came out and reviewed and said Baba is a thief, blah, blah, blah. But because that money was still coming from, because Bukky Jesse had her own supporters were also contributing, somebody that has self-discipline and self-respect would never go back to Bukky Jesse following all that revelation that she came out with. But because this man that money is what is now holding on to, he still went back to Bukky Jesse. Look at all of these people, Paparano and everybody that have initially started working for him, doing things to support him. Some people like Confina started, they want to be that, we are Baba's the kitchen cabinet, were the ones, the shareholders. They started cursing these people, swearing for them, bringing out their pictures. And Baba started, because he wanted to be close to those guys that are trying to show loyalty and would stick with him in still getting this money flowing. He started cutting off everyone that's saying that the veils have come off their eyes. Like Paparano started saying, this GoFundMe thing is a scam, blah, blah, blah. They cut off Paparano. Look at everyone that they've cut off. Even Lenchi at some point said, oh, this story, this not blah, blah, blah. There's more to this story. They cut off Lenchi. Look at, but now the people that are close to him, the things they are doing, everyone can see, even a baby can see that is wrong. You can't see what Konfi is doing and be supporting it. But Baba has not come to China. Even Bukky Jesse was saying that Adura was an armed robber at some point. They put tire on his head. They wanted to set him ablaze. They will curse him, curse the grandchild, curse everybody. And this man will still be on their platform laughing with them and, you know, doing his Sunday stuff. So he is the one, like Dolly P said, that can stop it. But as it is at the moment, he sold himself to this money thing, and it's not the only way he can keep going is being in that circle. Because Gurexi is not coming to say anything that Baba has done wrong. Gurexi has not come to say Baba like that Blessing called him. Gurexi has not come out to say, oh, but this accountability is not right. How can you do accountability of that? Let's even leave everything else and focus on the GoFundMe. That accountability was hogwash. It didn't make sense. But the people that are fighting to say, Baba, well, okay, we were instrumental to giving you this money, but that accountability is not, can you please, you know, clean this up and give us proper account? Those are the people that are cutting off one by one. Did the coffee come to say accountability is wrong? No. But this is where he is the one that is engineering the people around him to be around him. He is making his circle smaller and smaller by the day because certain people are now saying that things are wrong and they're calling it out. Those ones is cutting them off. No one asked him to block the bossman. He blocked the bossman and was happy to say it on GH radio that, yeah, the bossman is now talking because he blocked him. These people were part of your circle before. You are blocking them off because their eyes are now open or they are calling out what is wrong. So he is the one. Every time something happens, we tend to leave Baba and then start to look around him and say, oh, this person, Gurexi responsible, that person responsible. Why can't Baba block Gurexi like he blocked Bossman? Because Gurexi is not saying things that is done wrong, like the way Bossman, Paparano, and all of them are saying it. So it is in his hands. He knows he is in control, totally in control. All that Muiwa that they picked, it was strategic. Muiwa is in America. Whatever he does now, who is going to go to America and be? If Muiwa was in Lagos, people would have gone to his house and go and be shouting only on his head. But they knew what they were doing. He knows what he's doing. He comes, when he's on TikTok, he comes and paints this face of, oh, I'm a suffering man, blah, blah, blah. He wears this face like he's suffering when you see him on his TikTok. But then when you see him outside in his car or you see him in his church, he's happy, he's dancing, he's doing all those sort of things. So he knows he's the one is orchestrating all these things. If your eyes open to some of the things that he's done wrong and you're going to affect what he's standing for, he cuts you off. He cuts everybody off that have come to say, oh, Baba, you shouldn't have told us a lie on this matter. Not because they were antagonistic of him. This is the part that is funny for me. Not because they are coming to curse you. They just say, oh, they still had their support for him, but they were just saying, Baba, this thing you told us, oh, it was wrong. You know what I mean? And then he cuts them off. He doesn't even give a chance because the ones that are closer to him now will start like confused. If you say, oh, but Baba, you said you went to this place, so I mean, you didn't go according to what we are hearing. People like Bukky Jesse, Konfi, they will come for that person, and then he calls them off. You know, the other day you went to Yeye Kudi's house, you were there, enjoyed yourself, you ate, you did everything. Yeye Kudi at some point was one of your key allies. When Bukky Jesse started coming for Yeye Kudi, you cut Yeye Kudi off too. So this man is in charge. Let's not keep going around him, Gurexi, Lagata, blah, blah. Now Lagata, from what Lagata has revealed now, you see Lagata will be out. So he knows what he's doing. I'm sure he's probably blocked Lagata already. But he will still have York Daddy's number. He will still have Gurexi's number. Because these ones are not, he will still have confused number. Because these ones are not saying, oh, Baba, oh, this is not right, or you shouldn't have done this. Have they corrected him before? Just once. But the people that have tried to correct him or sort of set him right and say, Baba, you are deviating, let's go this way. Not because they hate him or because they want to leave the support that they have for him. They are just like advising Baba, no, this is wrong. Come this way while we are deviating. They cut those people off. So he's in charge of his circle and he's keeping it smaller and smaller as people begin to see things and try to call him out and say, this is wrong. This is what exactly is happening. The man is in charge. Don't let us be fooled by the face he brings to TikTok, looking dejected and looking like he's suffering. That man is enjoying himself. He's enjoying himself. He brings Why does he wear that thing to the inquest? When on normal day you see him wear agbada, wear all this thing, looking good, come out of his car bouncing. I think he stationed somebody with the camera everywhere he's going, especially to church. The person will be there, he will drive in, come out of his car, full video. They'll video him as he's stepping into the church. When he's in the church, he's performing, dancing, they video him. But when he comes to talk to the people on TikTok, his supporters, I would say, he now sits down dejected, carries down kerchief and be cleaning his face, looking like things are wrong. It is all a script. He knows what he's doing. He's in charge. He is in charge of whatever is happening. You know, so let's leave people around him for now and even focus on the man. If he can block Buki Jesse, if he can block Yeye Kudi, Bossman, Comrade Moses, all of them that have been working, even that lady, I can't remember her name now. Another of his very strong supporter that was giving money to him at the time. Even this other lady in the US, I keep forgetting this lady's name. Another one, the one that had that said she has a restaurant. You know, all of these people have been cut off just because they
light on.
Yeah, light on. Yeah, light on. And the other lady that has a very big platform at the time. I don't know if you can remember Thunderfire. She had that's where I think it was one of the places that Lagata went to when Chairman went to Abuja with him. That lady who is always crying. She cries a lot like this.
I am Yinka.
No, I am Yinka. I can't remember her name. So they see those people were strong supporters, and then at the time that they were cut off, they weren't saying that Baba, we are not supporting you anymore. They were just saying, Baba, but this lady I'm talking about was cut off because she said, hold on a minute, this autopsy that you've done, you need to read it to us, because at that point they were still holding on to it. That we need, Baba, this autopsy that we are paid for, we need to read it to us. Let's even forget all this noise. Jokem, yes, Jokem. She kept saying that thing, Baba, we know we've paid for this autopsy. All of this noise that we're making is distraction. She said it. Baba, read this. We need them to read this autopsy. Read this autopsy. They cut her off. You know, these are the things. He is in charge. I say people every time something happens, they leave Baba and they start looking at Gurechi, they start looking at Jog Daddy, they start looking at people surrounding. He is the one that has if he wants to cut off Jog Daddy today, he will easily. Like he's done to bigger people. Jog Daddy is not as big as Papariano in support for him at the time. Jokem is big, you know. Even Olori Ebi is big. He's a big supporter of Baba, raising money and doing all those stuff. Well, was able to cut them off. So Jog Daddy and what's his name? This Vengeance does not even bring him money. So he only goes there to shout. He can cut all of those ones off. He's cut off bigger people in the past. So he's in charge. People around him are just there for the drama. You know, Lagata came out with all these revelations, even although I don't know what he's trying to prove. You've been part of it. You've had this information for so long. Why did he bring it out? Because he's been cut off. The people around Baba, all of them confused, have started talking about him. They've been abusing him. Baba's sisters are supposed to cut him off, and they now can't start bringing out what they term as revelation. What something that you've had for 2 years. The same with Bossman. At the time you were there, you were fighting and everything, Baba. When they cut you off, you now come and say you want to show us, tell us things that have happened. You are complicit, you know, and this is what is happening. Thank you.
I disagree. Baba is a celebrity. We should have a cameraman following him. Let him.
I say he's happy. I'm just saying the contrast. I'm just talking about the contrast in when he comes on his TikTok live and he sits down dejected, holds down handkerchief, tell them to switch off the fan so that he can be sweating and he'll be using handkerchief to wipe his face and be looking like he's suffering. As against when he's about in town, like there's a cameraman already there, videoing, capturing the angles and everything. You know, two different lives.
Let him enjoy his life.
Thunderfire. Let me just quickly say a question. I want. Sorry, can I just make my submission, please? Thunderfire. I put in my own opinion.
Can we mute, please? Rito. Okay, Jack, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Thunderfire. I've been listening since, and I've been listening to what everyone has got to say, and I'm completely like I'm gonna be very neutral, as I've always been, but this is just my own opinion anyway. First of all, I need to cut Mr. Joseph Aloba some slack, in the sense that all of these shenanigans, we know, but the fact that he, even if it is, I don't care, he's still putting in something. He's still saying, I want justice for my son, and I think that alone, for me, it's an action. It's an intent, regardless whether whatever happens afterwards. But what I say is this: to be fair, I think, with all fairness to both Mohbad's family and Wunmi, the wife, in my own opinion, I think who should have done most of this, who should have been the person to do most of this, to root seriously for this justice for Mohbad, should have been personally the spouse, if you ask me, because as a spouse, I don't care whether the family of my late wife or late husband, whether they're even seeking justice for him or not. I just know, because I've been, because if it's a man, you've been turned to, what do you call it now? What do you call a man who's, the word has just eluded me right now, who's bereaved of a wife, whose wife,
A widower.
a widow, is a widower, right? Yeah, widower. Yeah. Thank you, IT guy, for that word. So, because you have been made that, and if it's a wife, you have been made a widow, and you're gonna live with that for the rest of your life. So, knowing that you're gonna live with that for the rest of your life, and if you feel this, my partner's demise is not natural, isn't natural, something happened, then you would want to give it all your might and all your power to ensure that at least, if at all, that's the only thing that you can help him achieve or get, to help him get justice. But that being said, that's not to say that I'm saying that the wife hasn't done anything in that regard. Maybe she's doing it on the ground. Maybe I just don't know about it. But if you ask me, I think there's no way we can be talking about this failure without talking about, without referring to both families, both family of Mohbad, or the wife, and even our own family, because I haven't heard or seen anyone from even our own family trying to, putting in energy, or putting in some kind of actions. We're talking about concrete actions now, not even words of mouth, to ensure that the guy get justice. So the failure is from both family, and for you to understand the depth of that failure, which from now till eternity, that will be my position, is the fact that these two families, both of them, they were alive. Both of them, they were probably even in the country when Mohbad was being buried in a less than 50,000 naira casket. You see that? There is nobody that can explain away. Whether you say, oh, the father was not aware of it, oh, the father wasn't there, oh, the wife was not there. You cannot tell me that such a very huge decision, such a very important decision, will be made without the knowledge of either the father or the wife of the deceased, or the wife of the deceased. Because that is like the last respect they can pay to the person. Do you get? So to now say that these two families, they couldn't sell all that they had. They couldn't go to any length to borrow money just to give this guy, forget the fact that he was a celebrity, just to give him a befitting burial that at least, they will, by themselves in their own hearts, that at least we have done the best that we can in terms of paying him last respect. So if you look at that, even if you don't want to think about any other thing like whatever actions or whatever contributions or whatever impact they've made in terms of the justice for pushing for justice for Mohbad itself, you will see that they failed woefully in that regard. And for me, I'm not gonna blame any of them anymore. To be honest, I'm not gonna blame either Wumi or either the Mohbad's family or even our own family. But the truth is this: it is what it is. It is what it is. If whichever role any of them played or has played, it will be there for posterity to judge and for posterity to sort of like see, So that's what I feel, and I feel that I wouldn't just be talking about the failure of this developer without talking about the failure of the wife as well. Because if I ask anyone here, do you think the wife has done the needful in terms of what a normal wife should do, or a normal spouse should do for the spouse to get justice if something happens or happened to them? And if I ask another question again, do you think the family too, that's Mohbad's dad, mother, and brothers and sisters, do you think that they've done the best, they've done enough in terms of what a real family should do for their loved one to get justice? The answer, I want to get the answer from any of us, please.
Can I quickly comment? Can I quickly comment? Okay. Oh, Escape, do you want to say something? Or can I quickly say something? Yeah. This is why that's why I said when I started that it's going to be like I'm bashing the man. Listen, all of this thing is, we're not in their shoes. Yeah, I understand. We should cut him some slack. He lost his Ologo son, the glorious son. There's some things I've heard about the fact that he knew that Mohbad. I don't believe that any man, well, because he's a celestial or CNS person, that he knew that Mohbad would not bury him or something like that. That it was somebody else that would bury him. I don't know whether that narrative is true, But irrespective of that narrative, right? He lost his son. Yes, so maybe he didn't act rationally because a father should not bury their son. You understand? But the reason why, and I'm not blaming him, the reason why I said, and that's why I said I was careful, because I know that this thing, it's annoying me that people are making it, they're not saying things logically. They think immediately you say somebody has done something wrong or they should have done something better, it means that you're attacking them. No, we're learning for ourselves as well. The real, in our Nigerian culture, and even in most cultures, patriarchy, when it comes to family, the bulk stops with the father, even though mothers do a lot of the background work. But the father is the one that commands. The mothers then execute the command that the father has given. So maybe the fact that the father, Joseph Aloba's, and the wife were not together, maybe that contributed. But going to what you said, Jack, according to what we heard, it was Baba that said they should bury that son the night or the day before or the day after. I don't know how many days after. And I remember, and what they also said, which everybody attests to, was Wumi, who is young, by the way. She's not 30. She's not, I think she's not even up to 25. I don't know what her age is, but she's not 30 years old. She's not 40 years old. You just had a son with someone, and then the person dies. You're not normal. That's why I was saying that The father should know more, because in Yoruba culture, they will go and call the elders. It's the men that will now step in, because men normally have more logic. It's women that go all emotional. They will be jumping up and down, banging their self on the floor. It's men that will begin to think rationally that, this is what needs to be done next. Because a woman will not do. A woman will be crying from now till tomorrow. They will not achieve anything. That's why it sounded like, I'm like, when it comes to this justice for Mohbad again, that's why I said that he's the one that could have done things better. Because not even him, he can call the men in his family, the uncles, the men that they have in their family, that they will not support him to do the right thing. You were saying that we should have sought for justice for Mohbad. I agree. But in a case where now, do you know that you are being neutral? Thank God for you, because if it was some other platform, they actually believe she's the one that killed the guy. I don't know whether she's the one, because I'm like, where is the evidence so that they can send the girl to prison if she did it? Because nobody wants a killer amongst them, but nobody can provide evidence. So rather than you seeking justice for your husband now, you are actually trying to prove that you are not the one that killed. How will you seek justice when you are now being called the accused? When your father-in-law is now going on TV, that's why I was saying that I wish he didn't do some of the things he did. Instead of you guys sitting there and say, Kigongo, what happened exactly? And then you trying to find your own, do internal investigation, however you want to do it. Things are now like, you are the one that killed him, you are Ashana. And apparently, when this guy died, Wumi said, I knelt down to the father-in-law, this is what they said, and said they should go and do this, what thing Yoruba call Oroku, like go and do his spirit somewhere, go and nail the spirit somewhere so that the spirit can fight. Do you know people said that means she's fetish, that means she knows how, like, it doesn't corroborate. This is why I begin to fault these people that just want to nail this girl. On the one hand, somebody wants you to go and do something so that the spirit of the husband can fight. But the other hand, you're like,
I heard it was to call the spirits to find out who killed him.
Exactly. So this is a girl of 23 or 25 years old.
But if she said the nurse did it, why are they calling out the spirits on who killed him? That part confuses me.
This is where okay, fine. But I know this is where all this thing is a bit messy. The nurse did it, but Yoruba still have all this because you want to go the normal logic way. The nurse did it. End of conversation. There shouldn't be any justice for Mohbad anymore. It should just be the nurse should spend all of her life in prison or as many years in prison. But people have turned it to something else. Now, Wumi sat and said, no, there's more to it. Maybe they send the nurse, blah, 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 and said they should go and do some spirit thing. But they said she's fetish. So I don't know how she could afford, because she, according to her, she saw the nurse. The nurse did it. So if the nurse did it, and I think one of the things she said, one of the interviews said, she can't believe the nurse is still going around doing party and dancing while her husband is dead. So if Wumi, let's paint the scenario, and I'm trying to be neutral. If Wumi was there, Wumi saw the nurse give a beret, or maybe not see, but she knew that it was the result of the injection that was given to her husband that made the husband to die. The justice she should look for is to make sure that nurse spent maximum time in prison. She loses her license if she has one, and she must have maximum time in prison, which I've heard her say that why is the nurse still dancing and going for parties, So I don't know what else she could have done, unless there's more to it than meets the eye.
But at the same time, the 9 days that Mohbad was buried, nobody went to the police to even report a nurse. Even Mr. Loba didn't go to the police to have him. Nobody did anything they were supposed to do.
This is why I'm like, if Wumi was being silly 20-year-old jumping up and down, and because one of the things she was doing online, you've killed him, who are the who that killed him? She didn't say. That's just me. She was just being emotional and making noise, which is, what a Babylon, they've killed him. Who are the day that killed? She didn't say. But that's a woman, when you see all this film, that's a woman being emotional. Somebody should have grabbed her. Come, sit down. Well, who are the people? You start to ask her, find a way. Who are the who that they said that you've killed? Who are the person that you're accusing? Because it's the nurse that gave the injection. What do you mean by they've killed him? Who are the they that killed him? But no, at this point in time, there's some people sitting down and saying, no, she, the person that said they killed him is actually the person that killed him. But and Father and Baba Mohbad is there, rather than question that or saying, yes, she's the one that killed him, and this is the evidence I have. They are doing They buy green cooler. She cook noodle. She didn't cook noodle. This is why I think this thing is messy. Somebody in the family, not us online, not TikTokers, somebody in that family, maybe from the wife's family, maybe from the husband's family, that is not the wife and is not should have called and say, guys,
I think we need to be
are
fair
messing things
here.
up.
I
You guys
think
are
we
making
need
things
to,
that we can do things better.
Dolly P. I think we need to be fair here. I have so many people on the platform now. We're all bashing Miss Oloba, but I believe in my heart that mistakes were made by everybody, and people need to admit that instead of defending it.
That's
A
what I'm
wrong
saying.
is a wrong. Period.
That's what I'm saying, right? Wumi jumping up and down saying they've killed him. Who is the day? You didn't say. Mr. Aloba say go and bury immediately. Why? Why didn't you want the investigation? Now, why didn't you report to the police? Maybe those that are involved are too sad, they're too traumatized by what has happened, which happens because when somebody dies that you don't expect, you might not be thinking straight. At least somebody else in the family. That's why I believe this family thing so much. Like Mortgage, someone that's not the father of the son. Because as a father, your son is dead. You are your glory, the glory child. Yes, you're confused.
I'm
As a
going to.
widow, you are confused. Get a mortgage that will then step in and bring the family together and say, let us not drag this thing onto social media. Let us not be dragging interview. As a family, let's look for justice. Maybe that will have helped. Maybe that will have helped. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming any one of them. I'm just saying that look at what they're all doing. None of them is helping the matter. Maybe somebody else that's neutral, should have even called Mama Mohbad and say, oh, Mama Mohbad, I know you don't like your husband, but this time, it's not the time to talk about what happened 24 years ago. All of you should come together and fight, But unfortunately, they don't.
I'm going to attempt to answer Jack's question. I think sometimes when we're on the panel, someone will ask a question and nobody will answer the question, and then we kind of deviate away from the question. And I'm going to attempt to answer that question. And from my understanding, Jack thought, as every one of us, that they really should have done their damnedest to give Mohbad a befitting burial. Instead, everybody collectively, including the wife and the father of the departed, agreed to do a hush-hush, push him down, and let's move on. And that will be the end of it. And they are all instrumental in that situation. Think about it. Okay, he's buried. The Ikorodu boys that insisted that they opened the coffin at the time. Let's see if it's truly this guy you guys are burying. We don't believe it, or whatever the case, their passion, their emotions. So we saw what we saw, and then the public outcry. Let's leave the public outcry alone. Let's leave the exhumation alone. Was that a befitting burial? Did Wumi Cynthia Adebanjo cry foul to say, I'm not going to allow you to bury my husband like this? No. Was she at a graveside? Yes. Was Mohbad's sister there? Yes. Were they all paying their last respect? Yes. But is that how you bury a Mohbad? Is that how you bury anybody who died at the age of 26? Even if it's an Islamic burial. Is that how we do it? Do we just sort of just let him disappear? What were they thinking? Because the wife wasn't protesting. She came out to come and mourn the death of the husband, to come and pay the last respect. The father was distanced away from it, maybe how many yards or how many miles away, wherever the case may be, as we'll expect the case to be. And then we want to start talking about how Baba reacted to it, how Cynthia reacted to it, how Mama reacted to it, Darosha and the rest of the clan. What are we talking about? Is that how things should be done from now on? Are we going to now champion a situation where we bury the dead by covering something? What is it that caused the entire family, the wife and the father, to agree to bury him hurriedly. Because if the wife said no, and she goes to a radio station somewhere or decide to cower under the protection of, is it Yabo Ojo or whoever, Tonto Dike or the senator and all the people that came to pay their respects, do you not think they would have actually voiced out in a way to kind of say, no, this is, we're going to be on this woman's side. Yes, you guys are not going to be allowed to do this. Because if she cried foul, she has the opportunity to do so. She's the wife of the bereaved. Whether the father has a final say or not, people in the public place will think, yes, Baba, why do you want to bury your son hurriedly? And then the public will come out and say, no, you can't bury him just like that. So before we start taking sides, before we start swinging the pendulum left and right, before we start looking for what a pin that is lost in a haystack, how are you going to find that pin? It's somewhere in there. How many human beings in Nigeria, 250 million plus people, are you going to bring to come and tell you, oh, which side are you on? Oh, the Baba is wrong. We are fighting for Mohbad. Oh, we are fighting for Mama. You guys can now see that it got political. When the body was exhumed, everybody knew their own wrongdoings. Otherwise, it would have been just one lawyer for the family straight to the inquest. All of a sudden, even Adura had his own lawyer. Even Darosha has his own lawyer. This is the problem we have. How do we ensure that the same type of burial will never happen again? How do we even know several of such has not happened? We're burying the dead. We are burying the evidence. But because we're taking sides now, oh, it's Baba's fault. Oh, it's Wumi's fault. It's a collective effort to do what they did. And if it's indeed the system, the judicial process decides to throw the book at the entire one of them, they should all take their own part and cut their own number of years behind bars. So within our biases, let's leave our biases at home, because this is not an inquest. This black app doesn't have the magistrate, doesn't have the wrong or right about it. But what is wrong about it is what they did when they buried him. Thank you.
Let me just quickly, I think Jack's question was, Jack's questions was, I think was twofold. He talked about the way it was buried, and then he asked what Wunmi did to look for justice. I mean, in terms of the burial, I do not know, I mean, except we have other facts, how Wunmi could have influenced that. Like Dolly P said, we're in a patriarchal society. The man took charge of the body. There were people who were begging him not to take the body for burial that night. He took the body away. He decided what he wanted to do and got the boy buried within 24 hours. Or maybe even within 12.
I don't want to stop, but Wunmi was there. Wunmi was there. Don't talk as if Wunmi was not there. She was there with them in the police station for 3 hours. Both, all of them, they were together.
And your point is, because you've interjected. Now, what is your point, please?
My point is, if she wasn't in agreement with the burial, she could have gone to the police station to report Mr. Oloba for burying him.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you're in America. I mean, this is a Nigerian system we're talking about. That's why we're saying we're in a patriarchal system. The man took charge. This is why I don't understand why we're going back and forth. And Sazot, if you're going to interject, then you need to come up with something that, if you have a fact or something reasonable. You said Wunmi was there. Did I say Wunmi was not there? The man took the boy away in the middle of the night. The father, I mean, let us all look at it.
That's my point. Now, you said the man took the boy away, but he did not alone took the boy away. Wunmi was also there with them when they went to the police station for 3 hours. Wunmi was sitting down in the car. So don't say he took the boy away. All of them took the boy away.
Okay, they all decided to
That's
take the
my
boy to
point.
Ikorodu. That is why you don't have a point. When you interject, please have a point.
So Ikorodu now, she also went to the
Who
mall.
was in charge of taking
Wumi
the
was
boy
there
out of the
throughout.
house? I'm not saying Wumi
She
wasn't there,
was there
please.
too.
Oh, I'm not
No,
here
no,
to
she
argue
was
with.
there.
Oh my days. Okay, thank you. She was there. Baba made the decision to take the boy away from the house. Right, he was in charge of the body at the time he got there and decided what he wanted to do. He mentioned that a few people were saying that he shouldn't do that, blah blah blah, but he made that decision. Whether 1 million people were there with him, it doesn't matter. He still they couldn't have snatched the body away from him. And this is what I'm trying to say with the point you're trying to raise. He was in charge. So now he's taking the body away. The body was buried within 24 hours or within even 12 hours of him taking it. I can't remember now. Because if he left the house, the place like 11, 12 or whatever time he left the house, the boy was buried in the afternoon. So it's less than even 12 hours. So all this, the story that, the woman could have protested, this man could have protested. How could she have protested? In Nigeria, if the father takes the body of, if your son, he wants to go and bury it, the wife will not be dragging the body with him. That's what I have to say on that one. Then again, I think we're looking at another thing there by going about after he's dead. What we were discussing earlier was how he died. Now going back to the issue of what Azumi done. It is easy to, when we are not neutral, we try to second guess everything against the person that we are not supporting, right? Mm-hmm. So now what I'm trying to say is, Wumi went to Falana September 19. Mohbad died September 12. This is like a week after. This is after Baba had taken the body and gone to do whatever he wanted to do. This lady went to Falana. But when you want to talk about Wumi going to Falana, they will say she wanted to hide what she did. That's why she went to Falana. And this is bias. She went to Falana to help investigate what killed her husband. Falana spoke with the IG. They did what they had to do. Then an inquest was started. An inquest is there to find out how the boy died. So what else? I mean, when you say Wumi had not done, people just say Wumi had not done anything to look for justice. She actually started all these justice that people are now coming to benefit from, and everybody is now talking about. Some people are making money off it. She started it. What else can she do than to sit back and watch the justice unfold? Every time I like to compare to the Timothy case. How many times did Timothy's wife come out to be talking and be making noise? She did what they had to do. They left the process. This process would have been smooth if not for all of these people that have now come in to be saying, oh, we are Team Baba, we are Team Wumi, we are this, we are this. And again, Team Wumi, I've always said, if you challenge them that, why are they supporting Wumi? The next statement they will say to you is, bring your evidence, take your evidence to police. So we are not shielding Wumi from prosecution or investigation. Exactly. The reason Wumi's supporters are there because we saw that a widow was being bullied unfairly, a boy of 5 months was being bullied unfairly. His pictures all over the place with curses. This is the difference. When you say Team Wumi and Team Baba, they are different. Team Baba are supporting Baba. Whatever he says, they go with. Team Wumi are just there to provide support for that widow and the child. And every time you challenge us, we tell you, bring your evidence or go to police. What else do you want us to do? But people will say Wumi is not doing anything because they are not seeing her going around like Baba is doing. The same Baba that they are now criticizing. When Baba was going to all of the stations and saying all sorts of things, they were supporting him and saying, why is Wumi not coming out? The same interviews is what they are picking holes in now. Baba lied to us. Baba is a liar. Baba is this. Baba is that. What else? If you want justice from the system, you have to take the right steps and wait for justice to be delivered. You don't dictate the justice you want. The autopsy came out. They are saying this is not what we want. How can you want something if you are neutral? So this is the difference. You guys that are supporting Baba are supporting Baba. You do not care about fairness. You wanted Baba to come out with something that would indict Wumi. This is what you guys stood for. And up till now, there's not one single evidence, even as we have said every day, and I'm saying it again, bring your evidence to prosecute this girl. Nobody's child decides to be killed. I cannot see evidence indicting Wunmi and I then be saying I'm still supporting Wunmi. No way. Bring your evidence, and for over 20 months now, there's not one even half evidence. All we have
Now, please.
is narrative.
Just repeating. Let me
What's repeating?
say what I want to say.
Nobody has interjected since we have been talking. Everyone has had their time. I'm going to finish soon and you'll have your time to speak. Please stop interjecting me. Let's have it. Okay, go on. Say what you want to say.
Yeah, sorry. Thunderfire, my own point here is that all of the decisions these people made, we are not talking now about a killing or buying of Mohbad. Wunmi buy Mohbad, okay, no. But the decisions they made, if now we are blaming today Baba that he buried the boy Ali, he should have not buried him, he should have get justice if he was not buried. What about her? What about she was also there. What did she do? That's the question I'm asking now to all of you. What did Wunmi do to prevent all of this? Because as a wife or any partner, even lover, you can protect someone you love when they are not there, when they cannot talk anymore, when they cannot move anymore. You should stand in for them. Even if Wunmi stood against Baba, as long as she was doing the right thing today, that time, we should have praised her for that. So what did she do? She posted on Instagram the same night Mohbad died. She posted. So did she ever mention anything in that post saying that I don't want to bury my husband, no. I want autopsy, I want this, I want investigation, and the father is insisting of burying him. Did she mention it? No, but she was instigating the public. Trying to mix everything up, calling they have killed, they have by him, they should come and take trophy. Did she mention anything that shows that she really wanted justice that time? And Mohbad was not buried yet too. So if maybe she would have called out the authority, even the police she went to, did she mention it to the police that I don't want to bury my husband? Don't allow my in-law to carry this body. Did she? No, she did not. So if as long as we are going to talk anything about the quick burial, I think all of them took the wrong decision. None of them helped that situation. Not even Mama Mohbad. They said she stopped Baba Mohbad. Okay, but what did she do? Did she call any elder, any authority, No, they never said anything to the police. Wunmi should have got down from the car and went to the police and tell them that my husband, if you guys refuse to give us the police attest or police certificate, we are going to bury him. My husband, my father-in-law is going to bury him. So, but me, I don't want to bury him. Please help me. Help us, please. We should not take this body anywhere. You make some drama. You make it as a woman. If you do those drama, they will look into it. Women, they are more favored than men in Africa. If you do some drama everywhere, not only in Africa, why are people having compassion for Wunmi more than Baba? Because she is a woman. So if she should have done something, maybe we should have not been here today. That's the only thing I'm saying. So if we want to blame Baba for burial and burying him very early, I think the family, all of them participated in that. They wanted it. Because if I don't want something, I know what to do.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Can I say something?
You to blaming. Because honestly, when I found out that they buried Mohbad, I thought he was a Muslim. It was later on that I found out he's not a Muslim. I was like, why would they bury a child so quickly? But listen, you were talking about decision. The person that made the decision was Baba. And he said he had his reason. Because he stated his reason. His reason was The day you the Ojojuba Ribido wallet, that's according to Yoruba culture, when actually according to Yoruba culture, you normally bury a younger person quickly because they don't do a ceremony. It's not like you'll be doing party, but it doesn't mean that they should have buried him the same day. I'm not saying that they should have buried him the same day, but he said according to him in his own mind, the day that he saw evil, that day is when he should be buried. So that was his own rationale, and he said it himself that he decided. So it's not women. Let's clear. So he said it himself. That one, there's no. They said. Now I listened to the interview where women said she found that third hand that they were going to bury the husband. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. You understand? You can say she lied because she was in it, but according to her, it was not. Baba did not even consult her like that. And in a way, in Nigerian culture, I don't know whether you're Nigerian or whether you're Yoruba. When it comes to Yoruba culture, this is why I'm saying that when it comes to Yoruba culture, in a situation like somebody dying, women don't get involved like that because they will be jumping up and down, be like what we said, they've killed. Who is the day? It is just a typical culture thing that we do. Get emotional, begin to blame witches and wizards. That's a typical Yoruba person's thinking. It's got nothing to do with whether there's actually a day. When she was typing that, it doesn't mean that she actually has a name of a person. It's just a typical reaction which people do in our culture, and I understand. If you go to somewhere, I want a Babylon, but who is the person? Even though the person that died is maybe a sickler, or maybe the person died of asthma, you will see the mother or somebody close say, they finally made me naked. Who is the day? It doesn't mean that there's any day. So understand that perfectly and stop apportioning blame. You say, Wumi should have done something. I'm sorry. I hope you don't lose somebody that you love. It's not that you say, let me go to police, don't bury him. No, you will not be rational. I don't think you'll be rational that first day. Maybe the third day, maybe the second day. But no, that's, and when your father-in-law, you are 25, your father-in-law is over 50, he's saying they want to bury the child. In Nigerian culture, you don't argue like that with your father-in-law to say, you can't bury. But we know that she said they should not bury, they should do a ritual. The father said no. That much we know. She said it, and the father confirmed that she said it. That he said, I'm a Christian and I cannot do traditional fetish things. So we know what she did. We know she said, don't bury.
Dolly P.
But wait,
Wunmi called her father-in-law.
Wait,
insult him. So it means Wunmi has no respect for anything. So don't just give excuse that she was just trying to obey him. No.
Okay, but let me finish. But in my own culture, God forbid something happens to somebody's husband. When the father says, we're going to bury the son, you cannot say you cannot bury the son unless you are maybe like someone like me, that you are older in marriage, you've been so many years in marriage, you have children, and maybe you are learned and you're sane at that particular point in time. When I say sane, when maybe you were expecting the man to die or something, if your husband dies immediately and they say they want to bury because you cannot deny. But we know that she said she knelt down and the father confirmed and said, don't bury, let us do fetish something so that they can let the spirit. So that much we know what she did, because you were asking what did she do. She said, let us do this traditional thing so that the spirit can fight. We know she said that. The father confirmed it. She also said she said that. 2, we know that we know that she said she wasn't aware when they now finally said they want to go and bury. Maybe she's lying, we cannot corroborate. But we also know that Baba Mohbad made the decision, not Wunmi, to bury, and he has his own reason, and I cannot fault him for that reason. That maybe in his own mind he can.
You talk so fast. I'm sorry, you talk so fast, and I only catch maybe 1 or 2 words.
Sorry, no,
I'm really trying to understand you.
I'm trying to say we should just go away from this blame. The father said, bury the son, because according to Yoruba culture, the day you see evil is the day the evil must go. You can't fault him for that reasoning. Maybe you should have, if you have suspected foul play, maybe he too was not thinking rationally that let me go to the police and go and file a report. Maybe he was just thinking, but no. Whatever. He was thinking more of a Yoruba culture thing. And he made the decision and he decided to bury the son. You can't fault him for that at that particular point in time. Although, when he now said he suspected foul play, is when I'll be, Baba, if he suspected foul play, then you shouldn't have buried him hurriedly. But maybe he didn't think. That I'm just trying to clarify that the person that made the decision was the father of the son. And you can't blame the father for saying he wants to bury his son. He said he had his own reason. The wife said he begged that they shouldn't bury it. They should go and do a traditional rite. All of those ones are verified on both sides. I'm saying the things are verified on both sides, not other things that people said. He said they should go and do something. The father said no. He's a Christian. He doesn't believe in traditional rites. So that much we know that she did. So if anybody's asking what did she do, those two things we know she did that. It was the father that made the decision. The wife said no, let's do traditional rites. He said no. Maybe she should have now gone to the police and say, this man did not listen to me. Let me go to the police station. Yeah, maybe she should have, but I'm just saying, maybe the father should also not have said, I want to bury my son, especially when you suspect a foul play. But we should stop all these apportioning blames. It happened. It shouldn't have happened. Let's move on.
Yeah, Thunderfire, I want to say something quick. Sorry, let me turn down the volume of. Yeah, I want to say something. Can you hear me, Thunderfire? Can everyone hear me?
Absolutely. Speak,
okay.
please.
Oh, thank you. First of all, I'm gonna always speak like somebody who is not a supporter of the Sevaloba or the wife. So I can be completely neutral. Now, one question I want everybody here to ask yourself now is this. If you were Mohbad, if I was Mohbad, and my family gave me that kind of burial, how would I feel? Will I be happy wherever it is that I have gone to? I mean, is it on the world they call it now, or whichever place you've gone to? How will you feel there, watching all of this, all things happening? I mean, watching you being buried in that kind of manner. So how I will feel, if you ask me, is that I will feel really, really dejected. I will feel betrayed. I will feel like I actually spent my life in the midst of enemies. Yeah, that's how I will feel. And I would like every one of us to answer that question too when we want to talk about it when I finish. Now, don't forget, it is because the public disapproved of the manner and the way Mohbad was buried or was packaged in the casket itself. They disapprove of the casket itself. They disapprove of the whole process. That was why you and myself heard about the death of Mohbad. I mean, heard about this whole thing that was done.
I think that was totally savage. Savage.
Yeah.
Savages did that to him.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to justify themselves. They want to blame each other when they're all responsible.
Everybody's trying to extricate.
Savages.
Yeah. To be honest, that's the truth, because we wouldn't have been here talking about this whole thing if these people had been allowed, if they were able to get away with what they did with Mohbad's body or to him. I'm telling you, nobody would know anything about it. If the public had not spoken, if the public had not disapproved, if the public had not, how will I put it now? Like, cried out that this shouldn't be happening. I'm telling you, they would have gotten away with whatever they did with that body and whatever they did, the casket, whatever they did. Nobody will know. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't be here talking, and we wouldn't be here supporting anybody. So we need to understand that first. That the reason why we are even able to say you want to support somebody, you want to support this, you are team this, is because you got to know about what was done to him. And the question is this: what was done to Mohbad? Would you be happy if it was done to you personally? I have spoken for myself. If somebody buried me, whether wife or family, in that manner or fashion, to be honest, if the dead has power to actually do something to anyone who has wronged them, I will probably destroy all of them. without even having to think about it because of what it did to me. Because that's the worst thing I think should be done to any human being, to be honest. I don't even want to talk about what they did or what they did not do after. But the truth is that they all failed. It's because they all failed to disapprove any of them, to disapprove that casket, that burial process. That is the reason why we are here today.